Hi, Carol Nancy. How are you? Thanks for joining. We'll wait for a few minutes and see if some more people join. Hopefully we'll get a few people joining. I do have one mystery I want to look at, and it's the disappearance of Justice Joseph Force Crater from Manhattan in 1930. So I'll be having a look at him. But if you've got something you want me to look at, I'm also looking at some, looking to look at some mysterious places. So, hi, Greta. Thank you for joining us. Just looking at some mysterious places. There's a place in Laos that has some giant stone vases, and these are giant. Hi, Kathy W. I'll copy that image and just new slide and paste the image. I'm going to go. Kathy W, hello. It is Monday. Well, it's Monday Mysteries for May, and late Monday night here, Monday morning during the day over there. Hi, Robin Arvin. So if you have a mysterious place you want me to look at or something, I'd be happy to have a look. Print. Print only the current slide and printer properties. Hi, Apple. And fast. So there's somebody, I have a couple of mysteries I want to look at. What these giant jars are all about. Central Laos and the disappearance of a New York Supreme Court justice in 1930. You hear my printer there at the moment, just printing up a picture. So has anyone got something they'd like me to look at as part of the Mystery Monday? And hello to people who aren't watching, who aren't in the channel. Hello to people who may be watching later. So these giant jars are located in Laos, which is next door to Vietnam. It's on what's called the Plain of Jars, and there are more than 2,000 large ancient stone jars that are spread across the plateau in the Xinjiang province of central Laos. Some stand 10 feet tall and weigh several tons. Archaeologists estimate the jars are 2,000 years old, but their purpose is unclear. One common theory is that they're used for funeral urns. We'll see. So it's really interesting. What could these jars have been used for? The other thing looking at is the disappearance of Justice Joseph Force Crater. And so has anyone got something like they want to look into? An area that they find spooky, a ghost town, a building maybe they might want to know what's we are talking. Hi, Harry's mum. We are doing all things mysterious, disappearances, mysterious places, not personal family things or anything like that. Just like disappearance I'm looking at is someone called New York Supreme Court Justice Joseph Force Crater, who disappeared from Manhattan on August 6, 1930. He disappeared after leaving a restaurant on West 45th Street. Now, as with many people at that time, there's stories of political scandal, gangsters, call girls, empty safe deposit boxes, missing suitcases. There's a claim that a crooked police officer killed him. No, where are your keys? No. Disappearance of Val Broke-Schmidt, son of the executive who killed himself. Who is this executive? What's his who's he attached to? I need a little bit more than that. Apple. So, but also looking at maybe some mysterious places. Like is something really haunted, or is it just played up for tourists or things like that? How about the Pentagon finally saying we have visitors in UFOs? Are we being visited by aliens? Okay, I can have a look at that. Hi, Marie Sutton. Hi, Ollie and DB. So, yeah, it's all mysteries and things this morning. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's some really creepy mysteries out there. So there was a ship in 1921 that ran aground in the notorious Diamond Shoals near Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, and it was called the Carroll A. Deering. It was stuck there for several days before any rescue team could arrive, but when they did, the Coast Guard found the equipment, logbook, and 2 lifeboats were missing from the abandoned ship, which was otherwise undamaged. So a few other ships had also disappeared under mysterious circumstances around the same time. So what was that about? What was the disappearance about? Disappearances in the same area at the same time. So, pirates, UFOs. What? Caroline. 1921, Cape Hatteras, Diamond Shoals. Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. Oh, okay. Kind of Trump evidence from his father. I'd say he's probably gone into hiding till he can figure out what to do with any information he has. Okay, I don't feel he's in any real danger. That yeah. Okay, so anyone else got a question or something in between? He's dead. Harry's mum, Kim Jong-un, is dead. I did a reading on him ages ago, and it just, I mean, he might be on life support or something, but he is brain dead. And okay, so you're busy this AM, just have to lurk, hey? That's fine. Anyone got something around their area which is been a bit of a mystery for people for a long time? What's so spooky about it, you know? There's lots of spooky and mysterious places. Hi, Marie Sutton. So we've got the disappearance of Justice Crater. Are we being visited by aliens? The Carroll A. Deering mystery, the ship. What happened to its crew? Yeah. I'm looking at, does anyone have a house or something in the area that's old and that's notorious for with the locals for being haunted or whatever. Or it could be a wood. Hi, Debbie Fitzsimmons. So, I have a question out here. We have min lights, something we called min lights. And when you're out in the bush, travelling through vast distances in Australia, people often say that their cars get followed by min lights, little floating lights that follow them. They can come up close or they can stay in the distance. What are min lights? I really want to know about that. It's something that most of us in Australia have heard of and a little bit uneasy about because it's quite big. The Elms Hotel in Excelsior Springs. Okay. Believed to be quite haunted. Is it? If so, how? There was a road named Cody Road that was supposed to have. Cody Road in Kentucky. Okay. What town is it near? Debbie Fitzsimmons. So I think we've got enough to go on with. What you know, why is it so strange? Okay. So we're going to start with the disappearance of New York Supreme Court Justice Joseph Force Crater. On August 6, 1930, he disappeared after leaving a restaurant on West 43rd Street in Manhattan and was never seen again. As was quite common at the time, there's lots of rumours of scandal. Hi, Marie Sutton. Scandals with call girls and gangsters, and Albert DeSalvo. Was he the real Boston Strangler? Yeah. Missing mum for several months in San Diego, California. They suspect he may have killed her. Oh, my goodness. Story, Indiana. Yeah, I've heard of Story, Indiana. Wow. Thank you, Beverly Spencer. Haunted for many years. It's about having a hotel. Wow. But anyway, we'll go back now to Justice Crater. Now, he was supposedly associated with some mob boss. What's his name? Live or dead. There was a grand jury for the case, and they returned an open verdict. He had associations with gangsters, especially one with He had his law clerk, Joseph Mara, cashed 2 checks that amounted to $5,150. That's equivalent to $78,000, almost $79,000 in today's money. So, and yeah, I'm trying to find the name of the thing. But anyway, and the 2 briefcases that were in, detectives discovered the judge's safe deposit box had been emptied and 2 briefcases that Crater and Mara had taken to his apartment were missing. So much happening. Okay. Hi, Linda Salva. So what happened to Justice Crater? Was he planning to disappear? We'll go with that first because it certainly sounds like it. Sounds like he may have crossed the wrong people and was planning to disappear. It looked like there was preparations for that. Was he planning to disappear? Hermit. King of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Yes, I do think it was his plan to disappear. Felt he needed to get away. No, the Shroud of Turin is not the real shroud. It's a later artifact. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Harry's mum. But Justice Crater, he was planning on disappearing, and it was precisely because of a lot of corruption. He'd gotten himself a bit caught up in some scandalous areas. Not as much as some of the others, but enough. And I certainly... he was thinking it was better for him to disappear. He had surprising news. Page of Cups, emotional news. That was his plan. But I don't think he succeeded. Did he succeed in his plan? He definitely got into the process of it. He was, yeah. And he'd made deals. He'd made deals and arrangements. He was definitely heading towards something big that would have caused a lot of judgment to fall on him. So yeah, he was escaping, and he'd had things set in place to escape. 10 of Wands. Oops. But his plans underwent a change that he couldn't help, he couldn't avoid. Definitely had to do with dirty money, why he disappeared. Okay. So I think he was in the process. I think he might have even gotten out of New York and stuff. But I think he was found. Four of Pentacles. He was definitely able to hide away for a while, but he was really in a very precarious position. That is to hide some things. And yeah, he did manage to get out. but I don't think he was successful in hiding for long. There was a claim in 2005 that after her death at the age of 91, they had received a note written by Queen's resident Sheila Famuki Good, in which she claimed that her husband, NYPD Detective Robert Good, had learned that Crater was killed by Charles Byrne, a crooked NYPD officer who also worked as a bodyguard for Murder Inc. and enforcer Abe Riles, Burns's brother, and Burns's brother Frank. According to the letter, Crater was buried near West 8th Street in Coney Island, Brooklyn. So let's have a look at those two then. Was he indeed caught up with? I do feel that he did manage to disappear for a little while, but not very long. They caught up with him. So is this claim true about him being murdered by Charles Burns, Abe Reeves, and Frank Burns? Let's see. Is this account true? Lies and deceit. No. No, I don't think he was killed by these people. That doesn't mean he wasn't killed. He managed to get away and move somewhere else and basically start over with, and that came through in the other reading too. But I do feel that somebody caught up with him, but it was not these guys. Okay. Was he murdered? Let's have a look. Was he murdered by somebody else? I won't ask who. Hi, Shelby Lisa. Yes. He was murdered by somebody else. The Empress. The Strength. Three very big, very strong yes cards. He was murdered by somebody else. Somebody he was working on exposing. The mayor went through my mind. There was something here about the mayor of New York at the time, Mayor Jimmy Walker. And there was a gangster called Rothstein. Okay. Yeah, three very strong cards that say yes, he was murdered. Six of Wands, Two of Swords, Three of Swords. I thought it might have been more more personal than that. I don't think it was really to do with anything to do with the New York mob. I think there was actually a bit of a personal bent here. Look at it this way. If he could do the dirty on people in New York, including his wife, he could do the dirty on other people. And I do feel that he lied and deceived somebody, but it was the wrong person to do that to, and they enacted their own judgment. I don't. Hey, Bubba. Hi, Hippie Gypsy. Hi, James Lee. I think Justice Creator crossed the wrong people, but this time he didn't get away. A different mob of people in a different area. I don't think he lived out a long life under a new name. I think he was comfortable for a few years, and then yeah, he was murdered. Lies, deception, betrayal, victory over someone, tipping point, consequences for his actions. Basically, somebody passed their own form of judgment on him. So, yeah. He was the type of person who would repeat the same pattern. Of behaviour and get himself into a similar sort of predicament that he was in New York, but he couldn't escape it here. So where is his body? I think he may have even started a new family. So where is the good justice's body? New York, New Jersey. I kept getting Las Vegas. Deserts in Nevada. Do you end up in Vegas? Bright lights and big flashy place to end up. I think he may have crossed the mob in Las Vegas, but he liked cool girls and good times. He ended up where he went somewhere for you know, and lived quite nicely for a while, but then he really crossed the wrong people again. Yeah. High Priestess, Page of Cups, the Death card again. Vegas, Knight of Swords. He was, yeah, started a new life. But yeah, he crossed the wrong people. I think he may have ended up in the Vegas area and crossed the Vegas mob. That could mean he lived another 20 years or so after he left New York. Okay, hi Christine Thomas, how are you? Cat Lady, if you're watching, please let us know how Miss Spot is. Okay, next. These things on the high plains in Laos, what are they about? Some of them are up to 10 feet tall, and they're giant jars, and they're up to 2,000 years old. What are they? Guides of the highest truth and compassion. I am feeling better, thank you. Okay, what are these giant urns about? Those are 2,000. 2,000 large ancient stone jars are spread across this plateau. Their purpose is unclear. Were they used as funeral urns? Seems a bit... Were they used as funeral urns? Some. I think some. But there's also an element of offering here. We've got the Page of Wands here, and talking, giving up an offering, and then there's support and celebration, and then there's movement and momentum. I think they're largely ceremonial. Places of faith, this area, this whole plateau. I think some were used as burial urns, but only, or incinerators, but only for really, really high up people. I think the whole plateau was viewed as sacred, and not for mere humans, you know. So things like priests would go up there. Yeah, there's very much a metaphysical, universal belief with these. family members, highborn, coming together. I think they were very much a sacred place where offerings made, and very high-born people were taken to be buried, but not everyone could be buried up there in those jars. But it was also a place where people went to on a pilgrimage and to take offerings for, you know, material security, family, offer up prayers. And looking for wisdom and advice. So it was a bit of a place of a pilgrimage, I think. Yeah. That didn't mean people didn't live up there. I think there may have been some communities that lived up there that were like maybe sort of monks or something along that line. Yeah, I do feel like it was a place of pilgrimage and a place for very special people were taken. Okay, what's next? Now, the Pentagon telling the truth about UFOs. It is a favourite question. Are we being visited by UFOs? Now, the area I was just talking about, this place, it's called, it's a plateau in the Dieng Khoang province of central Laos. Xingkhoang, central Laos. And I was looking at these giant urns and what their significance is, and the significance of the whole plateau, really. So I just read on that. Now we're going to have a look at, are there aliens visiting us? Yes. Yes, they are. We've got the Ace of Swords, we've got the Chariot, which is momentum, movement towards, movement forward. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, details, learning, apprenticeships. Yes, they are visiting us, but we still have a long way to go. We still have a long journey ahead of us and a lot to learn before more our actions as a race on this planet are still too defensive. We still see the demise and the loss of too many, and the conflicts that tie us up you still have to move past that. There's also learning not to abuse the power and position that individuals have. There has to be a clamp down on that, resolution for conflicts, and also, again, back to the Nine of Pentacles here with the abuse of the positions that you have, corruption as well. We've still got a long way to go before we're anywhere near ready to be invited into the fold, if you know what I'm talking about. So that's aliens. Now, the Carol A. Deering, 1921, Diamond Shoals off Cape Hatteras, North Carolina. The Carol A. Deering is a steam and sail ship that ran aground, and it was there for several days before rescue could get there. When they did get there, the Coast Guard found that boats were gone. It was apparently a time for Barbary pirates. Later, the Coast Guard found that the equipment, logbook, and 2 lifeboats were missing from the abandoned ship. Otherwise, it was undamaged. What happened to the crew? Hi, Sheila, Inquisitive Tarot. Hello, how are you? Welcome to Monday Mysteries in May. Looking at the Carol A. Deering. It's a ship ran aground on the Diamond Shoals near Cape Hatteras, North Carolina in 1921. When Coast Guard got there a few days later, they found that the equipment, logbook, and 2 lifeboats were missing from the ship. Otherwise, it was undamaged. But there was nobody on it. It was abandoned. What happened? Were the Barbary pirates involved? Apparently, they were really, really busy at the time. Yields. King of Swords, King of Wands. I think clash. Definitely a clash of two kings. I'd say there's definitely a clash with some other people. Offer they didn't want. Appearances are deceptive. deal. I'm just going to, thank you, Hippie Gypsy. Thank you very much. Hi, Sweet P68. What comment was that, Sheila? What is going on with that ship? Guides of the highest truth and compassion. Dusty Rose, one below. Things are good, thank you, Sweet Pea. Now, Carol A. Deering. What? You know, I am getting insurance job gone wrong. It was deliberately abandoned. I've got the two kings again. Now, I got the two kings again. Battling. But forced abandonment. Planning and strategy. Comfort the ills and judgment. I'm just getting that things did not go as were planned. I'm reading on the Carol A. Deering, which was a ship that ran aground on Diamond Shoals near Cape Hatteras in North Carolina in 1921. And it was stuck there for several days before a rescue team could arrive. When the Coast Guard got there, the equipment, the logbook, and 2 lifeboats were missing. The ship had been abandoned, but it was otherwise undamaged. I do feel like the people who went on those boats died. They weren't supposed to. I think it was an insurance sort of scam thing that went wrong. Captain and the owner, the two kings here. Plan. We've got a plan here, a strategy here. But things got turned upside down. Confusion. For some reason, the ship was supposed to sink. They were supposed to get off on the lifeboat, be picked up, you know, and tell some tale of what happened, and that went wrong. The ship survived, but they didn't. Possibly it could have been a storm at sea or something, but lies and deceptions and gaslighting and loss. And talking about things, testimony, investigations. I feel they did abandon it on purpose, but they were not meant to disappear entirely. I think that was an accident. I think it was abandoned on purpose, and it was supposed to go down in a storm or something, but it didn't happen. And for some reason, these guys didn't get picked up as they were supposed to. And yeah, and the ship just survived and kept going till it hit land. Yeah. So like, it's interesting that these two guys came up. Corruption and leadership, corrupt leadership. Yeah. It was a tragedy anyway, because people completely disappeared and their families never knew what happened to them. So it's interesting. I have scheduled a pet special for Friday night, 8:30 my time in the evening. Okay. Min Min lights. Over here we have something called Min Min lights, especially when you're out in the outback, in the vast plains and everything. Driving at night, sometimes people will say that Min Min lights follow their cars. What are they? Are they spirits? Are they aliens? What are Min Min lights? I'm going to ask, are they spirits or are they aliens? So we'll have a look. Are they spirits? Manifestation. Young, mischievous. Manifestations. Are they hoaxes then? But it seems strange that people would be pulling the same hoax in so many different areas. Now you see them, yeah, it's very much now you see them, now you don't, with Min Min lights. Disruptive, mischievous, you know, like for the page of Queen's reversed. Are they spirits? Here we have young and mischievous spirits again. Died too young. Heartbroken, definitely. I do feel that they're spirits. And I think they might be spirits of younger people who have died. Mysterious, mischievous, laughing, having fun. Wanting to be seen. Sometimes I think if you could get close enough to them, you might hear giggling or childish laughter, which would freak me out. But yeah, I think men lights are spirits, and possibly spirits of younger people, who are looking for acknowledgement, who sometimes feel the burden of loneliness, which is why they appear so in these areas where people are driving through. They want acknowledgement. They want people to know that they're there. They're not harmful. Yeah. So that's min lights. I had my heart race doing that one. Now, somebody's talking about the Elms Hotel in Excelsior Springs. Is it haunted? I don't know. That's an interesting take on it. Spirits in the afterlife. I just think that they're so many people died out in those vast areas, and it's a very vast and lonely place. And sometimes if you're tied to that area, if your spirit, and you haven't quite moved on, you want acknowledgement. I was here, my family were here, that sort of thing. Don't forget us. Okay. All I'm going to do now is just going into spooky realms here. So universe, spirit, protection. Yes, it is like they haven't moved on. Heaven knows how many people have died out there in those vast areas that no one has known, Okay, so the Elms Hotel in Excelsior Springs. Is it haunted? Thief? That's a no. Consequences, yes. It's one of the consequences of being old, an old building. Judgment. Emotional. Yes, it is, in a way that a lot of old houses are haunted and that they carry energy with them. But there's some stories that are basically not true and just used to get tourists to come. But there is quite, it is a place where quite a lot of emotional, it does stir a lot of emotion in people. I am not an expert on the stone tape theory, but I do feel like that is definitely at play there. Very intuitive people will pick up on things, especially the emotion of two people that were there for a long time, that live there. I feel like there's been investigations there and there's going to be more, but some of the stuff is just made up stories. But yeah, some of it is just, a bit of lies and delusions and attempts to get people to part with their money, maybe a little bit. But investigators have been there and some have said no, the others have said yes. But there was a fairly traumatic event that happened there that sort of like it stayed in the memory of it. But yeah, really intuitive people, highly sensitive people can pick up on things. But someone coming and walking up to you and tapping you, and no, I don't get that. I get more sense of feelings, sensing of emotions. But there are some secrets associated with the hotel that haven't come out. So that's the Elms Hotel in Excelsior Springs. Definitely got the stone tape theory thing going on there, as would a lot of old places. And definitely emotion hanging in the air. I think there was definitely some event there that happened with possibly two people, and their emotions are hanging heavy in the air. Yeah. Autonomy. I don't know anything about this place at all. I've never seen any shows on it or anything like that. I didn't even go and look up a picture of it. I feel there might be. Definitely a secret associated with it. And possibly a lady might be seen, glimpsed, but yeah. There's definitely some stuff that's just been made up and that used to feed some people's imaginations. And, you know, in a lot of cases, this is the cases with a lot of places that have some genuine phenomena about them and feelings about them, but people think that's not enough and got to play it up a bit. But there's definitely, yeah, definitely the emotions of two people there are very strong. And yeah, you can definitely see one, you know, if you're a highly intuitive person, highly sensitive. The Queen of Wands, you might see a lady on her own. But yeah, there's definitely some manipulation has happened there. And some people have judged it as, you know, investigators still like to go there. Yeah, I do think there was something traumatic there. And there's certainly a secret. Yeah, so there's some stuff that's genuine, and some stuff that's just being played up, but no real faked photographs or anything like that. Some stuff's been played up to be more than it is, but there's stuff that is real too, which is the case with a lot of it. Could it be a murder? I don't want to go too deeply into it. I feel like what was this event? Strength, sabotage, patience, family. There was an event that really affected the whole family. Something that possibly took place at what was supposed to be a celebration. But it really had a very high impact on the family there, and it led to a change in their position and in their within the family. Yeah. Okay. Now, what's this Cody Road in Kentucky? Cody Road in Kentucky. Thank you. Yeah, it was a very, very traumatic event. It really changed the family. Let's see, Cody Road in Kentucky. This is Cameo. Let's see, Cody Road in Kentucky. Debbie Fitzsimmons, you asked about this, didn't you? Yeah, her name is Cameo. I do feel like something bad happened there. Yeah, people who go there suffer from anxiety for quite a while afterwards and maybe disturbed sleep. Fast, fast, fast. Things happen very fast. It's so fast that it's almost like frozen in a moment. It's really anxiety, and people who go through there sometimes feel that anxiety and as I said, have trouble sleeping maybe, but it feels like someone was fleeing, trying to get to a safer place. Fleeing. No, I don't feel it was a train. I feel the train might be something different. Sort of like from the tracks. I feel this might be even earlier than that. Like colonial. This was definitely something that was covered up. But it was quite a long time ago, like even when the area was first being settled. Mm. Yeah, this is a very strong imprint. It happened very quickly and it was very strong. But this is like charged. I feel like someone was just being hunted down. This is a knight, supposed to be a protective, but it's like this person was hunting very angry, very angry. I'd say even further back than 100 years. There might not even have been a road there at the time this happened. It might just have been a track or a trail. Someone was fleeing, and I do say probably a woman. The train is something else. That's like sound memory. If there's tracks along there, it's like embedded into the tracks. Definitely death, somebody killed, somebody murdered. There's somebody who was an official at the time. Yeah, it was definitely hidden and covered up. Somebody was trying to flee, trying to get away from what they felt was basically imprisonment. This is definitely like, I still feel, you know, the coon cap era, like Daniel Boone times, way back then. He was an important person at the time, and you know there really was not a lot of justice for. It was said she just left and gone away somewhere, but no, she was killed, and there was loss. Yeah, it was like now you see me, now you don't. Um, the story was told that she went back home, but no. Wasn't. She was murdered, and this was even pre-war of independence. You know, Kentucky was still a very young state then, but you know, that far back. This person, they really, in the end, couldn't escape the consequences. In the end, people knew. People knew. Not many people believed that this woman left to go back for her home, family. I feel it was a white woman. I don't know that it had to do with slavery in any way. was definitely a wealthy merchant. But this person, they did pay in the end. They did suffer in the end. They were brought to natural justice in the end. They carried a real burden with them for the rest of their life. Whispers, never quite going away. Nobody ever really quite believed that. Yeah, you can be the big man around town, but he was never quite trusted again as he was before. No, it was before 1825. That's all right, sweet pea. I don't think it had to do with slaves. I don't think it was. I think it was like forced marriage or something. Planned marriage. You know, women were obviously, slavery was a bad thing, but women were often treated as chattel as well. They were. All their belongings and everything. Judgment, yeah, definitely. People looked at this man differently afterwards, and they judged him. And they sort of turned their back on him in a way, like, yeah, very emotional, yeah. The train is to do with something else, just I think place memory or things, but the screaming woman and the oppression, it's like, yeah. Yeah, he said she was sent back to her family, but she wasn't. She was murdered. He murdered her. People never really quite looked at him. The same. And it's hung in that area. It's like, I think this person also used that area as a hunting ground. I think there were, this person didn't just kill. Yeah, he was a bringer of death. I think he used this place as a hunting ground as well. I feel like some people indigenous to the area definitely killed at least one or two of them. And it wouldn't surprise me if he killed some of his slaves as well. He was not a nice person. And people turn their eye, you know, he kept things really, really quiet. But when this young woman, yeah, that turned things, like people started thinking, yeah, animals weren't enough sport for him. He was a dark person. And and he really used this area as, yeah, loss associated with him. This dark This is a dark, dark cloak. Has anyone ever seen like a dark figure? He really ended up feeling embattled. I don't know if anyone's ever seen a dark figure there, but you'd never trust. It ended up sort of being on the outer with the community in the end. Really dark person who really, yeah. Okay. Just going to cleanse the air a bit here. Cameo saw the matches and she jumped off the table. Yeah. Yeah, Debbie is that I don't know if anyone's ever reported seeing a dark figure around there, but has a nasty effect on people going through that area. You definitely want to be walking down there alone at night. Okay. Albert DeSalvo, was he the real Boston Strangler? This question's been asked quite a bit, hasn't it? It's often come up, was Albert DeSalvo the Boston Strangler? Seen circle of fires back in the field. Really? Well, I hope not. I don't think I need to cleanse the whole house, but I will put on some cleansing music and stuff. And yeah. Seen circle of fires back in the field. Okay, Albert DeSalvo, was he the Boston Strangler? Yes, definitely. We've got the King of Pentacles. We've got the World resolved. The Ace of Pentacles. Yes, he definitely was. That case was solved. He was the Boston Strangler. Definitely. Okay, guys, I have come up to an hour and a half mark. Story, Indiana. Yeah. Well, I need to clean the whole house. That's definitely true. I did earlier, you know, when I close my eyes, that's when I sometimes do a little prayer. I ask for extra protection and things like that. Let's see. Story, Indiana. What is it about Story, Indiana? The thing that went through my head is that the location itself, something about the location, geologically, geographically, it lends itself to certain things. It's been investigated. People have gone there to investigate the town. It's old. It's an older town, yes, with many memories, shared experience. I feel like it's one of those places that conflict resolution. There's a bit of debate that has happened about it. Don't really know that much about the place apart from hearing it occasionally come up. The world resolution, it's sort of like, I feel like there's, yeah, something magical about the way it's perceived. It sort of celebrates its weirdness in a way. I feel like there's been some betrayal and stuff happen there, of course. Some links to victory in some ways, but lies and deceit. Page of Swords, disappointment. I think like the people who feel like they want it to be more than it is. There's a few creepy places around. I do feel like there's a bit of possibly the land, the area. It's got some properties that sort of absorb things, and again, that's don't take theory. It might add to the feeling about the town, but there's sometimes there's more adding to some stories. Some people like the idea of it being a spook town, others don't. Yeah, but I do think there's a bit of showmanship happening around it. So it's, yeah. So Story in Indiana is sort of like, some people want it to be more than it is, but its story is pretty much complete. It is what it is, and there's some spooky areas there, but otherwise it's pretty much just your average everyday town. And yeah, it's had its stuff happen in the past, but honestly, I think some people go there expecting more and come away a bit disappointed. It's had its share of celebrations. It's had its share of betrayals and stuff, as any town has. But yeah. Okay. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've had a nice time and enjoyed yourself. And, you know, I will be doing another mystery read in June. And if you want to join me on Friday, J-Cat Lady, are you here? If you are, how is Miss Spot? Oh, I hope somebody's heard from J-Cat Lady. Has anyone heard from her about Miss Spot? Anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. And please come join me again. I'll be back Thursday morning as for my usual jaunt, looking at things. And yeah, everyone look after yourself. Stay safe, stay strong, stay loving, and stay healthy. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.